Hello, Kelly.
Hi, James.
Welcome to You and the Universe. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to You and the Universe.
I like that. I like that title.
And even that opening of a graphic with it just reminds me every day. I tend to, I'm not gonna see that, but kind of be a part of that every day, that expansion and awareness. And, we talk about this. You and I talk a lot.
Yeah.
I mentioned that. It's like, wow, every day is kind of like a,
It's an expansion.
It's an expansion of
Or
awareness.
it's an opportunity to expand.
It's an opportunity.
Or delete.
Take it, some don't. Some like to stay in the safe part of the pool.
Exactly.
Others take chances. Yes.
Oh, they sure do.
It took me a while to get into. I'm writing about it right now in my book, actually. So I'm up to the third chapter. I'm waiting on the finish this chapter because I'm doing a writer's course. I'll talk about that later. It starts the end of this week, and I'm going to have people write with me, and I'm write with them.
Oh, fabulous.
Part of the book to share the experience of writing. So, and
that gets the energy going too. And gets the mind thinking. Oh,
it's a creative expansion. It's a whole thing. Yeah. And it's I'm stopping right now. When I started learning swimming, and I was afraid to swim to the deep end of the pool. So I stayed at the shallow end till I was like 11. And my friend Connie, who this chapter is about, taught me how to swim. And it was all about having trust and faith,
and then later, years later, we were in Tahiti and you held my hand and we went in the water and we went swimming.
And I taught my sister Maura, who was afraid of water, how to snorkel. And that's exactly right. It repeated itself.
Yeah. Very sweet. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well,
how have you been?
I've been very well. I've been well. I'm getting ready to go away this weekend to Jen Weigel's All Souls Retreat.
So and where is that being held, Kelly? I forget.
Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful area, and it's sold out, but it's a beautiful area, and I'm really excited to be among people that think spiritually.
Yeah, it's nice to be with people like minds,
right?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
it's true. Wow. It's very true.
We have such an interesting topic tonight about how spirit gets the messages out.
Signs from spirit. How do we know when they're around us? Ways they come through, methods that they use, validating messages, things how they come. So, I mean, you and I, it's I don't know about you, Kelly, but many times, and people have asked me when I first started developing a mediumship, and like was on Teresa Caputo's show, the spirits always bombard you all the time. It's like, no.
Please. They have better things to do.
That's true. That being said, I now am more aware of myself in that world, in that space, in the mind, right? And I think it's part of the mind that I'm aware of that space. I just have to open up that curtain and I'm with them. And as I get older and I do this more and more and develop more and more, it opens easier. And now it's just a natural, which it is natural. Naturally, there's no work at it. It's just you open up and you are there with them. You share the space with them.
Well, and speaking of sharing that space, we have a great story to talk about with how spirit works and how it worked over the weekend.
Was it over the weekend?
It was over the weekend. It was actually
Halloween weekend. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I realized that. I was sleeping. I guess maybe it was Friday or Thursday. I don't know. And I was in that twilight state in the morning, the beginning to wake up, but not awake. I wasn't in a full waking state. But I really wasn't. I woke up after this, but I was in a space where I guess I knew I was sleeping, but my left ear was buzzing and it sounded like a radio signal tuning. Remember, well, I don't know if people nowadays know about this, tuning into a radio station in the old days, like 5 years ago, you tune into it and you hear this trying to get into the right channel, right signal. It'd be like a white noise until you got there. Then you'd hear the person speaking. That happened to me in my ear, my left ear. And I was aware there was energy coming from my left ear. And I was aware of, thank you. Someone just walked into the room. My dog just went over there. I thank you, Maeve. It's probably her. I'm not sure.
I know she wants the story told.
Oh. Somebody just walked right to me. And I was aware of that energy in my ear. And then, James, can you hear me now? And it was Mavis. And she says, well, I'm working with, and I heard her very clear as I'm hearing your voice. And I knew that she was tuning into that psychic ear and working and helping develop my clairaudience. And I knew And it's so interesting when people pass on to the other side, they say, well, I have 360-degree view of what's going on. It's all around me.
Right.
And I know things going on at the same time, which is very much out of this three-dimensional world. It's a multi-dimensional experience we're aware of when we leave the body. So I was aware that she was helping her and her team, if you will, was coming back to help assist me in development of my psychic hearing, my clairaudience, it's called. And I just know that she was. So that I called you that morning. I couldn't wait to tell you that.
Well, but it's a couple of things here. She's helping you clairaudiently, because I believe, and I think Mavis, I really believe this, James, you're going to be giving deeper messages, bigger messages.
Yeah.
Considering the time frame that we're on, the timeline that we're on.
Yeah. Now as I'm talking to you, I feel a burning in my left ear. So there you go.
Okay. So then
I'm not a searing burning, but I definitely feel something there.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm as skeptical as anyone about this. Right. Trust me. I'm very aware also that I'm very open to it. And I know that they're working with it. And there's a feeling of like, wow. I don't hear anything, but it's a feeling of like that. And when I sit in development circles, when you do sit in development circles, many times you'll feel them in your auric space. You'll feel yourself getting larger and expanding, and really to like a giant, and then small. And you'll feel them working. And then right now they're working like this.
Wow, it's a team.
A jellyfish. Yeah.
Wow.
So the next day I was walking in my garden in the afternoon, and I heard very clearly in my head, now it was just a thought that was dropped into my mind, right? That's how they communicate, mind to mind. And I heard, we're working with you, and it was language I didn't quite understand. The things I thought I heard was decimals, and I heard coils, and I heard symphonics, I heard dissonance, and I heard something about valves or something like that, like valves. And that's it. And that's what I heard. And then I called you. So
then he calls me that morning. But what you did not know that very morning is that we had a 2-hour time difference. So that right. morning, Don and I were having coffee. It was Saturday morning. We're having our coffee. And Don says, out of the blue, he says, you know that bell that goes off at the beginning of your show or at the end of the show, and there's a little ding? I said, yes. He said, it's out of tune. I said, it's out of tune. He said, it's the dissonance isn't correct. I said, the dissonance isn't correct. He said, I think you should tell James. I said, well, James wouldn't know. And then he said, no, he'll know. He'll understand. I go, I don't think so, but if you really want me to, I will. So then James calls me and tells me that you get a message from Mavis in the garden of decibels, symphonics, coils, and dissonance.
Yeah.
Which was an extraordinary, because that's a word that you and I have never used, dissonance.
And I know the word means, but I would never use that.
It really wasn't. So that bell will be tuned, Mavis and Don. And Mavis and Don were thick as thieves. They loved each other.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean, and Mavis loved music, and Don's a musician. So it was just interesting how that worked. But I think the totality of all, James, is that she's really, the coils in your ear, they're really working on the clairaudient to get a clearest message from the highest source. I think that her energy is going higher and higher. Yeah,
I feel it. I feel coldness. I just know that we all have like an energetic body as well. So that's part of the psychic part of us, the energetic part. And again, the more one wants to, the more relaxed you have to become and more aware, if you will. It's really nothing to just say, I got to be aware now. You just surrender. It's kind of surrendering and allowing. It's very natural. It's like the breath, the breathing in and breathing. And I've been taking yoga now for many years.
And that helps. That helps.
It helps a lot.
Because the mind is calm, the body is calm. It's easier to receive messages.
I do yin yoga. it's just free flowing yoga. And I just do movement. And and it's funny because I have a wonderful friend who does Sue White, we met before. Yeah. Everybody's met Sue. And, she'll come, she's such a healer. And she'll say, okay, what do you want to do today? And I said, let's just be quiet. And she goes, this is what you need. And she goes, right to what? Wow. So we do these certain poses and turns and stretches. And it's amazing. Yeah. Wow. But the more open you are, the more it's easier to become aware of those spaces that are all around us that are filled with loved ones. I mean, we're partly here, partly there. So, yeah. And the number one way they come through is the dreams is really the number one way.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I just had an experience with that over the weekend. This was a busy weekend, busy weekend. But my niece Peggy's very good friend passed away, and he didn't believe in any of this. This was not his thing. He never believed in any of this. And yet that very night, he came to me in a dream. Now, I didn't know this man by a stretch. I never knew him. And he brought his family, and they were talking, and it was like he needed to get some messages out, to his loved ones here. It was interesting. So that can happen to people, whether you know somebody or not.
How soon did he pass?
He had passed 3 days before that.
Right. So it doesn't matter how long someone passes. A lot of people ask us, it doesn't matter how long they are before they come back. No, they come back right away, in that they're aware of the out of the body, and they're like, oh, my love. First thing I've found, they want their loved ones to know they're okay, that they're fine.
That was this. Yes.
There's no death.
Yes.
We have a mutual friend of ours who lost a good friend that I knew, you knew.
Yes.
And she came through that the next day to a friend, a daughter, the next day. And because she had an awareness that there's life after the physical death. Again, no death. That's so funny. I've felt spirit, and I feel them around me. Say, when I say life after death, they get kind of like pissed off, because there is no death. Why do you say that? There is no such thing as death. And it's like, well, from our point of view, our perspective, where we are right now, there's a physicality about it, but there is no such thing. It's like stepping. And she used this term, which I didn't even tell you this. She used the term. She said it was stepping out.
Ah, what a great line.
And that's more of what it is. She said it's like, James, and I've done many readings for her, and you know that stepping out. She says it's like stepping out, which is true.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy. It's just we have to have that sense of openness if we want to contact the spirit people, and just be aware that they're around us. When my brother passed, I was very open and around that he was around, and I heard him, not like I'm hearing us speak, but you hear it with your, like a thought,
right?
Feeling, and then just be open to the feeling and the discernment of it, and just let yourself trust what you're going to feel, your intuition, your soul's voice, right? Just feel your way through, and you'll be amazed that they will come through. And you just send out a thought and just relax and let them use that part of the mind that you sent out the thought. It's like a projection. It's like I don't know. It's like you send something out and they'll get your thought right away. It's like I just heard say slingshot. They get it and they bring it right back to you.
Wow.
No, it's what they do in Australia. They throw the boomerang, right?
Boomerang.
Boomerang. You throw it out, it comes right back. And if you give them that space, they can come in and you can allow them to come into that space if you're open and receptive to however they want to come through to you. Right. Everybody can receive that. Everybody's a medium in their own right. I think everybody has the ability to play the piano, but not everybody is a concert pianist. Not everybody has developed that aspect of themselves.
It's a good analogy with that.
I know right now, mediumship too, my school, and I have applicants for mediumship because I want to make sure everyone's serious about mediumship. And I have some very talented people who take it very seriously, which is great. And teaching them how to refine their skill. It's refining that skill set. And it's so getting out of the way, but yet having the confidence. It's like jumping in the deep end. It's like going.
It is exactly like jumping off without a net, except that there is a net.
And it teaches you surrender. And when you do communication with the spirit world, there's surrendering.
Total surrender. Yeah. Aside from dream, James, how about when all of a sudden the lights start to flicker?
Yes. So they can use things electrically. They can use they can definitely do things electrically. Can affect magnetic electric energies. I don't know how they do it. My brother did that when we were in Maui. He moved the lights like flickering on and off whenever I was giving a message. Remember that? Yeah. Whenever I gave a message, the lights blinked on and off. So they can affect things electrically. They can create things like they can affect phones, lights, radios. Sometimes you go in your car, you turn in the old days, or you're hearing something else, it's their favorite song that happens. And it also it's also when you get that feeling, like when the song comes on or the lights flicker, feel the emotional charge, because it usually comes with an emotional charge connected to it. So when I was doing the readings in Maui at my retreat and the lights were flickering on and off on the wall, they were all emotionally charged because the love was coming through from the spirit friends, the loved ones there in the room, and that was the emotional charge. And I was like, yeah, and that was a charge. So feel the emotional charge. Many times they will do something that they know of. So if someone was an engineer, they could come through easily, much easier than someone who had no idea about electricity,
Right.
interested in a certain topic like cars, if you will, or certain, they come through songs. They come through. Yeah, that's a good way they come through. And emotionally charged times also when you might become aware of them electrically or something physically happens is around anniversaries.
Oh, for sure. Birthdays or anniversaries.
Birthdays,
Yes.
wedding anniversaries. It's an important time to come through with that. So,
yeah, absolutely. I had a session once with a woman at her home, in her home. I used to, every once in a while, I'd go to somebody's house in her home, James. And this woman was such a blockhead, like the kind that don't believe, they don't want to be there. Sure. But yet she wanted me to go in and have a session with her. But she was like a blockhead, like a giant boulder head, And her grandmother had come through and had given me the name and talked about horses and I don't know, a bunch of stuff. And she goes, yeah, well, I didn't know my grandmother. And at the moment she said, I didn't know my grandmother, from the top of the highest shelf comes flying down this giant picture of the grandmother, not giant, a picture of the grandmother that she didn't even know was up there and smashes down. And we both were like, whoa, what was that? And then she said, she picked it up and it was her grandmother. And I go, I guess she's pissed off. You better pay attention.
Okay.
It was interesting.
Good one. I have another one. I would tell ghost stories. I remember it was, about 25 years ago, perhaps it was. My cousin, no, it had to be 35 years ago, probably, maybe even 40. He was a professor up in Dartmouth College, and he was cutting a tree down with a friend of his. What he was doing to cutting a tree down, didn't know how to do this. Stay on the wrong side of the tree, and it went on top of him, killed him, dead instantly by the tree. So we did the funeral in upstate New York, where I'm going in a couple of weeks, which you might be joining me. Yeah, and my brother and I, with other pallbearers, are going up, bringing the coffin up to the grave. And my uncle, his father's next to me. He goes, I don't want this. I just need to know he's here. We get up to the coffin and we're just standing. And we're standing around it, and the priest comes over, and the father's next to me. I was wishing he was here. And I heard no wind, nothing. All of a sudden, the bouquet of flowers on the coffin from his father falls off into the ground. He turns around and goes, I got to get out of here.
Oh my God. I don't think I ever heard that one.
My sister and my cousin, who I'm going to be seeing in a couple of weeks, were sitting at my aunt's funeral. And in those days, Irish wakes, those church. And my aunts and my mother, they all wore the same blue dress. It was like, they all look the same here. So, none of us, we know there's life after death and so forth. So, and my aunt always would discuss that with us and have jokes with us. And my cousin, my sister, myself were sitting there, and we're talking about, I wonder if, she realizes now, and the three of us at the same time feel this cold breeze and feel someone coming right to us, and we all look at each other. You feel that? Oh my God, here she is, and she was right there. So happens a lot. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
They want to know they're okay, that they're back home, that they're away. I described it to someone. It's like I think I described it to you, Kelly. It's like leaving. It's like when you're under the water, and when you come up from the surface, and you're out of the water, and that freedom. I think that's kind of what it's like. It's like heavy, dense physicality, lower in the water, and you're free to come up. That is home. So I often felt like it's like that. So, and this is temporary. It's just a small time here. The number, besides dreams, another way people come through, spirits come through, is what we call coincidence or synchronistic experiences. You know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me some of those. I know from your book you have some of those too.
I have a lot of those. Yeah, I mean, of synchronicities. I mean, gosh, let me think. I can't think off the top of my head, but gosh.
I was in a meeting this morning, and the guy mentioned coincidence. I said, well, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And I do believe that coincidences and synchronistic experiences, I think the spirit world are pulling strings, and however they do it, you guys, I'm not sure how they work on that with mental thoughts and work. I don't know part of that world, but it's many times you'll see sometimes on your you'll look over your clock and it's 1111, or you'll see the date, or that song pops up and it's just hearing the same song over and over again, or you hear certain sayings, or I remember with me, one of the biggest problems was Lincoln. When I'd see Lincoln, I had Abraham Lincoln. I said, "Are you really Lincoln?" Yes, and you'll know it's me. Like I said, well, you got to prove it. And the next morning I awakened and there was I had something about Lincoln on my fax machine, and then that day I was paying bills on my table. My wallet fell down. A $5 bill came out with Lincoln, and that day for 2 years I would see Lincoln every day referred to, whether it was Lincoln Insurance. I'd be driving the car and there's a Lincoln truck with Lincoln on it, or on the stage it'd be a penny, or as always that sort of thing. So how they create that, and that miracle of that is fascinating to me. And I think part of the Mavis thing is she's kind of working on that aspect of it. I really do. So it's almost like when you get those moments, when you have those synchronistic moments and feeling and sense, stop your mind and feel it. So feel the nudge from the spirit world. What do they want to say to you? That's a great time to say to them, what would you like me to know? And then let your mind go blank. Give them space in your mind, because obviously they're next to you. They want to get your attention. That's really, really true.
I like that. Feel the nudge.
Feel the nudge from the spirit world. Yeah. Good. Feel the nudge.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And how to tell that it's them and not yourself. It's the charge you get, the feeling you get when you get, it's an out of the ordinary feeling. It's an out of ordinary emotion. It's a little charge, but sometimes it feels like I've never had this before. Like with my ear thing, you'll feel it's out of the ordinary would be the best way to describe it. Right. And it's also, we can go a little bit deeper into our intuition, in that, inside you can test your intuition. Do I feel this resonates with me, or does it not?
Right. Because it just may, or it may not. It may be so new to you that you don't know.
And also then you can go one step further, Kelly, and you can just say, okay, so I get that 111 on my radio, or I might see that on the clock, whatever. Okay. And then what you want to do is you get the nudge that, okay, spirit, then you say, who is it that's communicating? It can be one person. It might be several making that, and maybe several beings making that manifestation occur. But there'll be one spokesperson. So you can say, who are you? And it might not be who you think it is, kids. And it might not be that. When I do my reading, I'm doing Friday night, I'm doing my 10 people readings. And it's so interesting how we've been doing this. And I've had different beings around me each time I do it, because it's just, I like the smaller group, and we get a lot more stuff in. And it's so interesting because there's an inner, some people have gotten like nudges when I'm doing a reading, and they want to hear from their partner passed over, but a dog comes through, or a neighbor comes through, or a child that they lost in pregnancy comes through, or it's amazing. But it shows us that the spirit people are always around us, and sometimes they need to come in. They need to come in to let us know something.
I had a really interesting experience a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. I was doing a reading for a woman who wanted to hear from a certain person, and that person came through. But what that person really needed to hear was from the person who had passed away, was that it was about a head injury, and her husband had had a severe head injury. And the reason that soul came to me, because I had had a head injury. And that's really what the subject ended up being in the reading. It had very little to do with the person who had died. It was that person had gotten her to me.
Because you're a specialist in that field.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember when Mavis used to say,
she did not know that. She had no idea.
So they made that happen, because that reference, they used your reference of having that head injury. It'd be much easier for you to get that reference than it would be for another medium to get it.
Right.
See, so I remember Mavis used to say, and I agree with her, that every person has their medium, and then not every medium is for every person. It's really interesting, because I'm really good at getting through spirits that have emotional backgrounds, funny sense of humor, bright, creative people. I'm not good at getting through. I can, but it's harder for me to get through mental type people, like engineers and mathematicians, and I have a harder time with that. I'm much better with bakers or designers, or this sort of thing. Or writers or musicians. I brought through a lot of composers. I brought through you name some composers. I brought them all through. I'll tell you.
It's true.
I brought a lot. In my book, I'm writing about all these celebrities that have come through. Some without me, even though I told the story before, it's always great, because when you open up, you just open up to whatever comes to you. Yeah, I remember the term I used to use, points of interest. What are the points of interest in your mind? And they will always come up to that. Remember that? Points of interest.
Yes.
Love that term. But I'm writing on my book, I'm going to write all the different celebrities that came through. And celebrities, we make them celebrities. They're not necessarily celebrities. And the person that makes this happen is that made this to me. I was in a rose, like put a rose garden together, and I lived in Laguna Beach, like 5 or 6 roses, right? I'm there one day, and I'm watering them, and all of a sudden I heard James, and it was Lucille Ball,
Which is amazing.
which I didn't know Lucille Ball. I loved her show. I thought she was a great talent, and she said to me, James, his heavy voice, I never came back to be, to do that. I'm a healer, and I came back to heal people through humor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and when Marilyn Monroe once came through, she came through me, through Susan Strasberg. And she was the very last person to come in. I didn't know if she was going to come in. I didn't know her name was Norma. I didn't know that her real name was Norma. And at the end, Norma came to her. I said, she goes, that's her. I said, okay, well, I get Norma. She goes, yeah. She said, well, all she's saying to me is, I wish they, meaning the public, would pay attention to themselves more than they pay attention to me.
Oh,
and so that
what
was
a great message.
really, really great
Right?
way. Yeah.
Oh.
And another way they come through, and a lot of people know this, like someone said, pennies, they get through. Coins. My sister got coins all the time.
Oh, she was the dime lady.
She was the dime lady. And since she passed away 3 years ago, I've received dimes on my seat of my car. I mean, I just there's a dime. Making the bed. My other sister is a dime right there. And it's weird.
Well, I remember right after Lynn died.
That's right.
I was in my bathroom and there was a dime on my sink. Yeah. A dime. Now, I wouldn't have put a dime on my bathroom sink. It didn't even make sense. But I called you. I said, I think I had a visit from Lynn. There was a dime there. Yeah. Just flat out.
There was one at her wake right down the middle of the aisle. I'm like, there's a dime. Right. And then she had a book dimes. Like, wow, interesting. So someone told me this, like Tony Stockwell told me, what you want to do then, and you can set up a connection with the spirit world, that if they want to come through in coins, which they come through bills, but no, must be harder. But coins, ask to come through with the message in the coin. In that, now you find the coin, look and see what date is on that coin, and say to them, I want you. So it's like a universal ordering, right? Ordering. Ask them to create that coin with a significant date that you'd understand it by. And
like a year or something.
The year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And they also can use spirit. Well, and I don't know if it's a magnetic pull, the gravitational pull, but butterflies, of course, hummingbirds, all different types of birds. They can do that. My mother, I know how to be. My sister went to my father's house once after mom had passed, and she sat on the steps in the front of the house, and a butterfly came by and just sat on the step next to a monarch butterfly. My sister, younger sister, got up and she went into the house. It was my father. The butterfly followed her in. Went through my father. Then she went out to the side door to go to the garage to see where her old bicycle was. The butterfly followed her all the way.
Whoa. Yeah, that's amazing. So
they can affect things that way. And like sometimes you see rainbows suddenly, or that time that I saw the hawk fly over my house, and
totems. I mean, totems are a real thing. James and I, we had a situation.
We've had many a situation.
We've had many a sitch, but this was a big sitch. There was a hawk that was flying above us. We were on our way to Hawaii. It was before we went. It was the day before we left for Hawaii.
That's
and
right.
a little bird flew out of a hawk's mouth.
A sparrow. Yeah.
A sparrow. And I said, well, that means something right away. Because the hawk is the male psychic, and you were
changes.
And changes can be a change. Yeah. Somebody was free after that.
Really true. So how can you tell when you get the spirit signs that it's really from the spirit person, whether it's the dragonfly or the bird, whatever? Right. Again, tune into it, feel it emotionally. Like it might be a moment of thought. Open up your mind, ask, and just let yourself be open to receive. So a thought might come into your head. You might feel an inner, like a shaking, again, not the ordinary. And there might be an emotional connection too that you'll feel it, which you usually don't. And yes, that's and ask for guidance at that time too. You can always ask for guidance when those things come, or ask for the message that they're trying to show you.
I was going to say, I asked for messages too, but you know what? I used to get this, and I still do. A book will just pop out. A book, will just like either come off a book. will just come
Yes.
out of a
Yes.
bookstore or out of my own shelves or something.
Yeah.
It'll be a message. Oh, I need to read this or this, because they're working
Yes.
with us at all times.
All the time. And that's why, Kelly, people talk about the deck card decks and the books in there. And I've written many card decks, and I wrote one, but I think it was about talking. It was talking to heaven card deck, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the subjects was grief, and it was talking about how to use grief in a positive way. Right. And forgive me, I don't know when to. So I was doing a show in New Jersey, I guess a demonstration, and it was very interesting. Afterwards, some friends of mine were visiting backstage, and this girl, I remember this. You know these people.
I'm sure I do. Yeah, I do.
The tree.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this one girl had a lot of issues about death. And I said, you really need to, get into it, because it's like, we talk about the pain body a lot, like holding on to that stuff. This person held on to these deaths of mother, I think, or sister, or something. And I said, did you get the card deck? No. I said, well, go please on me. You get the card deck. She gets the card deck, comes back, opens it up, and said, we'll get 3 cards. And she did, shuffle them, and said, put 3 cards out. She 1, 2, 3. And they're all about, the cards were the same. And it was about grief will help you. It was really profound. It was the same card.
Wow.
It was a misprint.
Wow.
In a misprint.
Wow.
She picked the exact deck out of hundreds of decks. She picked the one deck, because don't think I didn't open it by the decks to check. It was the only deck that had this one card misprinted 3 times. Or twice.
I mean, that is a sheer message to her.
So that was another way. So
I
always go with your feelings, your intuition. And I also get sometimes a visual. I get a lot of my greatest signs when, believe it or not, when I'm getting a massage, or I'm in a bathtub, in a warm bathtub.
Do you think that's because you're relaxed?
I'm relaxed. So the mind is relaxed. And I will get, then as I say, okay, come on, closer, friend. Come closer with the thought. Come closer with the vision. Let me see it. Let me open my mind up. And I just relax. The more relaxed, the easier it is for them to, just let themselves just in. And I start seeing things, and I see that, they look younger, or they show me things. I was once that way, and I was, this is a great one. I was getting acupuncture done by this incredible healer here in Encinitas. Incredible healer. And he helped heal himself and his family, his wife and his other people, helped heal this guy with cancer, a certain type of cancer. Wow. It was done. It was healed. And there's a whole story behind that. But I went to his office a couple of times, an acupuncturist. And I mean, I saw colors, and I saw robes, beings with robes, these gold robes, I can't describe the colors. And it was an hour. I was laying down an hour with the needles in me. I didn't even know the time. And I wondered if the man was still there when I came back to awareness. And look over, and I opened my eyes, and he's like smiling. He's sending energy. And it was just, when you allow yourself to be free, you can, and have that sense of discovery, the curiosity, you can discover many things.
Yeah. I remember after surgery last year, I was sitting there, and it was just the most peaceful. You get all those meds, and you're just really at peace, so at peace. And I turned over, and there was my father there holding my hands.
Yeah.
And I saw him with my physical eyes, and I said to Don, "Look, there's my dad. He's holding my hands." And it was amazing.
Part of my writing thing, which I'm going to be starting on Friday, I'm at that chapter right now. I'm writing about a lady that really helped me as a child. I'm at that chapter where I introduce her, and she changed my life. And a lot of people that do my writer's course, unless 2 times I've done it, I don't do it every year. They want to talk about someone that passed over. And I'm actually yesterday afternoon, I'm writing about this lady. And all of a sudden I'm walking my dog Pearl, and she came to me, and she said, "I'm so honored you're remembering me in this way."
Oh, I've got chills, James.
So when people take this course, one is going to be the people that write about loved ones, and I'll go through different techniques of how you can connect with them and help them, let them write through you. So I'm covering that in the course. It's going to be really cool. And they're helping me to help others. I mean,
right.
So, yeah,
oh my gosh. So and as Mavis is expanding you, we are all growing constantly, and that's something that everybody needs to remember.
Together. We're growing together because
Yeah.
it's not mine, it's not yours, it's all of ours, and we help each other out. And even if it's someone who doesn't believe, but just maybe they're curious. I'm working on the show right now, which is bringing science and spirituality together, and it's some people might not get it, but at least it teaches people to question life after death.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I said last week, I talked about that lovely YouTube, the nature of reality, which you asked. That was a mind blower to me.
Totally.
Talking to the quantum physicist who's kind of, God bless him, limited in his own way. He's
very limited.
Well, in his own world, but he's an expert at his field. But then the Buddhist scholar said so well, it's okay. We have 25,000 years on.
Right. It's great.
But being open-minded to hearing things, to learning things. I mean, when you're open-minded, you learn, you experience things, you allow yourself.
That is so true. It's interesting. People are writing about getting messages on license plates. Oh my gosh, I've had so many of those. That is such a good one to remember.
Yeah, that was yes. I've gotten after my sister died that week later as LVPG, Lynn Van Praagh Groton, right there.
Wow.
And it was at a store that I stopped at, and it was right there. And I parked next to this vehicle. My brother came through with one. He said to me when I was shaving one morning, he said, pay attention. I think I told you this. Pay attention to the flag. Pay attention to the flag.
Yeah.
I said, and kept on, and stronger. I felt him. I felt him emotionally stronger. Remember the flag. And it got to the point like, okay, I got it. I remember the flag. Okay. And that's how they'll come through everybody. The nudge will be so strong.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So on the day before I was back, I was sitting outside, and there's this wooden little pool house thing, and there were termites. Like, oh wow, I think they're termite rot or something. So no, I got to call it termite person. Great. So whatever. So then I go my way. The next day I go to the parking lot, and I go into the CVS or something. I park, and right next to my car is a van, and it has a big American flag all wrapped around it on the metal. And it's a termite service.
Oh my gosh. So that's how he got that for you.
And they come through in signs, like literally billboards, the signs. I mean, I was talking to Kelly going up to Santa Barbara. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
Kelly, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
Every 10 miles, there was a billboard which people might recognize. Hey, James.
Yes.
And it's an insurance company.
Yeah.
But every 10 miles was, hey, James.
Hey, James.
I called you up as Kelly again. Yeah. Kelly's happy.
And actually, you got a picture of it for me. It was pretty funny. But I remember once driving to Palm Springs to see you in Palm Springs. And as I'm driving, there was a huge car accident, and the lanes were shut down. And the license plate in front of me was JVP 823. So it was your name, your initials, and your birthday. At that moment, I called you and I said, I think I'm going to be late. And I got a picture of that because it was unbelievable.
That's right.
They forget, they love to have fun with us too.
Oh, they love it. They love the amusement. They love the joy.
The amusement of it.
And happiness and joyfulness. That keeps them energetic. And that's, people are saying, you're so fun. It's like, what? You have to be happy. I mean, we're living in a hard world. Human world's very hard school. But, no one can take away your happiness.
No
one can take away that joy within yourself. So the world around you may be screwed up, but guess what? You should be happy within.
Right.
And it helps us being humble too for little things and remember little things. And, it doesn't matter how much money one has. It doesn't matter how material things one has. It doesn't matter. I mean, I've had both, I lived in the street. I've had a nice house. I've lived all over. I've had
all ways,
It's just what's inside you that really does matter. And that you're going to take with you. Take nothing else.
Totally.
And it's often what you did with things that you had. So let's say you had a lot of money. It's what you did with it. Or liters that you had. What did you do with those? That's what you'll be judged on. It won't be you won't be the great amount of money or what you get. It'll be the little things. It'll be the smiles. It'll be the little acts of kindness are so important that one needs to remember.
Do you think that the acts of kindness would be that spirit might be nudging to help somebody else? It might give you a nudge to help somebody.
100%. 100%. I know, Kelly, and you know this better than I do probably. I think therapists, people that work with people, psychologists, I think, have spirit all around them, always
My
intervening.
mom, I used to look at my mom and there was always a team around her. A
Always,
team.
always. When we do the show, always.
Yeah, always a team.
And even everybody that's watching this or hearing it now, around you are your loved ones who are listening. I talked about it last week. This light is created. They come in. It really opens up that space. Like, what is that light coming from? It's when souls come together as one and talking about one subject, if you will, or one interest, and it builds up. You see, and the amount of emotion that's connected to that really makes it fly.
Another thing that a spirit might do on the other side for us is, let's say our tires were low. They may be nudging you to get your tires checked. All of a sudden the car might just, I don't know, you'll get a nudge and all of a sudden you'll have this idea in your head, I better get my tires checked or something like about that.
I was, I don't know if I told you, I can't turn my notifications off. Sorry, folks. I hear the bing. I was, when I was first moved to Los Angeles, and I was 24, 25, no money whatsoever. Had money for a car. I think it's $600. And I remember I got an old Impala. Had really
of course, my grandfather had an old Impala.
66. And it was, it had, the gas gauge didn't work. I think the brakes barely worked. And I was driving on a Saturday night, and I was going on La Brea Avenue at Fountain. You know that area?
Oh, yeah.
And there's that
sure.
shop. I don't know. And I just with that red light, and also the car stops. And it was 1:00 in the morning. And I was like, oh, geez. Oh, good. There's a gas station right across the street. So I went up to get the gas. The gas, and it was like, oh, but I need to get a, so I was going to go there, and I was, but what happened was the gas tank was located behind the car in the back. And I went and I was going there. I opened it. I knelt down. Oh, wait, I got to get out of here. But I go get the gas container. So I went to get the gas. And it's like something pushed me to get the gas container. Because how am I going to put gas in without a gas container? Duh. So I go there, and all of a sudden I hear bang. And someone went to the back of the car.
Oh, see.
If I was sitting down there.
We'd not be having this conversation.
That's right. That's happened 3 times in my life where someone has come through, interacted. I write about a couple of my books, but yeah, that's happened.
That's a good one. You should write about that one. That's a good one.
I think I might have. I know at least 2 more in my books. I can't remember all my stuff, my stories.
I know. Smells, James. What about smells?
Smells. Another way they can come through is smells. Perfumes, like let's say favorite aftershave, or something like a perfume, or coffee, or pipe. Tobacco pipe. That's the good way they come through. Nail polish I've had come through. I've had turpentine come through. And said,
really?
Oh, he was he paint houses, and he used turpentine for his brushes, and he insisted that they use this type of turpentine. So yeah, and people have told me also the smells they've had a lot of experiences with smells they've used. Yeah, very very much. You also get, Kelly, sometimes a brush on the shoulder or a cold breeze. Another way they come through. And it's very interesting because when you get that, it's very fleeting. But try to recognize what you feel like emotionally when that's happening to you. When you get that smell, and you can ask them if that scent, who is this? If you don't recognize that scent belonging to someone, and also the feeling you get with it. Always connect the emotion with it. That's really, really important. That's it, really.
So true.
They also can move things. They can move objects. They do move objects.
Oh, I've had that situation many.
Tell us exactly you wrote about them when you're getting your book.
I have had that many a time where things. I couldn't find my car keys, and I was supposed to go actually on a job interview. I couldn't find my car keys. I could not find my car keys. They were exactly where I put them, but they were not there. I turned my purse upside down. I looked all over the house. Long story short, I couldn't find them. And I missed this job opportunity because I couldn't find the keys to the car. And after I had to call the person and say, I'm sorry, I have no way to get there. I don't have the keys to my car. My keys were right on top of my purse. Because I wasn't supposed to do that job. And that's the other thing with spirit. They will push us where we're supposed to be.
True. If we get out of the way. If we
get out of the way, yeah.
So, like, for instance, we know certain things are going to happen. But I find that humans are really impatient. And one of the greatest lessons down here we have to learn is patience. Because there's a certain time when things can happen. I know this from my own life. Things will happen for you in the right time. And it's almost like they got to set things up over there make things happen in their time, in the time of the
That
universe.
might really be the greatest lesson to learn, James. I mean, among many on earth right now, but patience. Really,
Patience.
yes, they say it's a virtue, but it really is. What I find is that people will say, "How come you feel it and I don't feel it?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Allow yourself, be in your heart,
right.
man. Live heart forward. I'm talking next year. I'm teaching a whole bunch of workshops about living heart forward, and
I
I
love
call it
that.
living inside out. That's what I call it, living inside out, and living heart forward, and illuminating your space, illuminating your space in many different ways, not necessarily literally illuminate, but energetically. And maybe illuminate your space. You'll see or become aware of things you never did before. You could be sitting in the same room for years, and
Oh,
when you come from a perspective of the inner light and out to the room, you might see things in a very different way. So I do some seminars next year about that.
oh, I think that's wonderful. I think it's needed during this time.
Yeah, and
Oh,
try when you do, like, when you try to feel sensing, go to the things that you wouldn't really necessarily go to, like feeling the edge of a picture frame. What does it feel like,
mm.
that metal? What does that feel like as you touch the metal? Oh, what does that doorknob feel like if I was to touch it? Sensory exercises. When
Oh,
you're
that's a great idea.
really,
Didn't Mavis used to do color exercises?
she's a color exercises. Yes, the value of color and the ribbons. She's the ribbons, and she'd have all these different colored ribbons. People wouldn't know who got what ribbon, and you have to read the energy of that person who has the other color ribbon that you have. Yeah, it mixes everything: energy and sensory, recognition, emotional recognition. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do, James, is to open up a page to a book and see what message I get.
Another way. So your higher self, we could say that, and I do that all the time. I mean, that White Eagle book, great book. The White
Oh,
Eagle.
it's a great, great book. Here, do
Yeah.
you want to do that now, James? I've got it.
You have it?
I do. Give me a page number.
Yeah, tell
Quiet
everybody
Mind.
the name of
It's
Quiet
called The Quiet Mind, Sayings of White Eagle, and mine's a wreck because you gave this to me many, many years ago. But I use this every day.
And I don't remember what page 37 comes to mind.
Okay, let's go to 37. Here we go. So I've got a curious 37, what Spirit has to say today. Okay, you're going to laugh your ass off, James. You're going to laugh your friggin' ass off. I swear to God, if anybody has this, page 37. Were you ready?
Yep.
Be patient with your days. If you are delayed, if your work does not seem to be developing as you hoped, do not be despondent or disheartened. But be thankful you are being trained for greater initiation. No great or good work is ever accomplished without patient preparation. Every detail of the soul's work must be perfectly done. So be patient in your work, patient with all of the happenings in your daily life, and especially be patient with your companions. They never let us down.
Never.
They're right on top of it.
That's amazing. I mean, everyone that's watching this or hearing this, I mean, that's pretty incredible. And Kelly and I did not talk about this whatsoever.
We didn't talk about it at all.
That's how it happened.
But I just kept getting a nudge. I kept getting a nudge. And I was like, okay, I'll say something. Here we go. Oh, my God. Patience. It is a virtue. Oh,
I sometimes spend the day with, this might sound strange to people, which is great. Try it out. When I was a kid, I liked to play make-believe. I did a lot of make-believe, imagination, and I still do that, but I don't do make-believe. I'll just say, Spirit, I'm going to experience this room or this space, like going down my stairs or going to the kitchen, as if you're here with me, or I'm the spirit. How does it feel from your point of view? And I go on a ride with them. I know it sounds crazy, but it's fun. It's great. And it's almost like blending both worlds together. Well, it's really interesting.
I love that. And you can take that when you with your writing too, James, or you can do that with your art, or that with your music, or that with anything. Yeah. I love that.
It's creative energy. It's that God force creative energy, and it's used in all different ways. Musicians use it, and artists use it, and mediums use it, and chefs use it.
Yeah, it's that inspiration.
It's that that one
opening that field for inspiration.
Yeah, it's that love.
So good.
Love comes in many ways, different aspects, and many depths of love. And
yeah. Wow. Well, so tell me, what do you have coming up? You've got mediumship 2 still?
Mediumship 2 is still yes. We're looking at final applicants. So make sure if you did get an application, filled out, and you're accepted, you got to make sure you let us know, because we're doing an event just for accept the applicants. So get an application in if you haven't, if you haven't accepted yet, accept or get the application. And then writers course is starting this Friday. So that's going to be a great course.
Oh, tell us about a little bit about what will happen during the
interactive course. People write a book, and I help them to write the book, and then I help them to set up the outline, if they will, of the book. I do it my way. They might have a book which is halfway written or 3/4 written, or they have a subject, and I get people who want to know about, what kind of book they should write, all the way down to, can you help edit this book? What's the cover of the book? What do you think would be a good title? What are the characters? So I'll go in depth with the different ideas people have. And it's really people that are serious about writing books. And a lot of books, I had 40 books have been published.
Amazing.
Over the years, over the 2 times I've done this, two times I think I had the course available. It's the 3rd time. And so I'm writing my book too. So I'm going to share what I'm going through, a writer's gathering, and see how each one is doing, and share with each other. So it'll be good. It starts this Friday. We're going to start opening it up for purchase. Yeah. And it's a 6-month.
It's exciting.
I'm very excited. And I think it'll be exciting to see who's writing with us.
Oh my God. Well, that'll be, and Mavis will have her hand in all of that, I'm sure. But you helped me with my book so much. I mean, this is, that's right. Yeah. Which is coming out, by the way. It's coming out on audio. Finally,
you're doing it, yeah?
Yeah. It's coming out like in a few days.
Wow. And if you guys haven't, you have to read Kellee's or listen to Kellee's, because I remember when I was going through your book and I was so shocked. I mean, I was like, I never heard this story. Huh? Is this real? And Linda, who's helping with editing of the book, I'm ready. You heard the baby? I said, I know about the baby. I know Kellee for years. I didn't know that. She goes, oh, and Linda was going, oh my goodness.
Right. It's true.
It's amazing you came out of all that, Kellee, and you're normal.
And I'm normal. That's what I think.
Seriously, you came through a lot of stuff to get where you are.
Thanks. Well, as you too.
Yeah. It's true. So if we can do it, anybody can do it, you guys.
That's right. That is the truth. The whole idea is to, get you to go through everything that you need to go through and start to thrive. Give yourself a break.
And enjoy your time here.
Enjoy your time while you're here.
It's weird, but it is an opportunity here for growth and for expansion, for understanding. And you won't get it when you get to the side. This is the major learning place.
Oh, so this is the school. I have Roots of Healing on November 15th. It is called Healing the Chaos Within. So we're going to be talking, it would be Dr. Shirley Pellizzari. So she's a somatic psychologist. She's going to help with dysregulation. Because, James, when souls go through so much, often they get very dysregulated. So she's going to be talking about getting tips on, and working with us with people to get regulated, to be very, calm in a time that's bringing up a lot of things for people at this particular time. And we've got Shirley.
November 15th?
November 15th. It's going to be extraordinary. We've got Carrie Gonia is going to do a family constellation. And I'm going to be talking about, the karmic imprints, about chaos and why our souls are, brought into families of chaos, and then how to let go of that. It's at 11 a.m. Central Time, so 9 a.m. Pacific Time.
And what time do you finish?
It's a 3-hour class.
Okay, so I want to offer something.
What are you going to offer?
A meditation.
Oh, we would love that.
The beginning is to deal with the chaos. So I'll do a meditation. At the end of your workshop, I'll do like a closing meditation. And from everything you've given out with the 3 teachers.
We would love that.
Get together, and I'll do a meditation that incorporates all that and just bring everyone down to balance.
Okay.
Is that
James,
cool?
That's so cool. We will love it. So then write it in your calendar, because then it's your time, 11, 12, 1, approximately, approximately 8 noon your time.
That works for me.
Around maybe 1/4 to noon, something like that. Yeah. Oh, honey, I would love that. That's so fantastic. Thank you.
I work perfectly with what you're teaching, because we just tie all of it up with that soul meditation, bring balance and peace and harmony from that chaos, what we're learning from that chaos.
That chaos. Yeah. Oh, that would be lovely. Would be great. We would love that.
Yeah, right now on my calendar.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, James, thank you. Oh, Shirley and Carrie will be thrilled.
And I know Mavis wants to say hello, Kelly.
I love you, Mavis, more than anything. I love her so much. Oh my God, she's really helping us, James.
She is. I see her with her hand folded like this. Just peering in. Like peering in.
We had so much fun with her, didn't we?
We did. We did. I'll never forget dancing on the cruise ship with her.
She loved it. I have a video of that, by the way. I do. I have to find it. I do.
Yeah, it was an amazing time. I knew she wanted to dance.
She loved to dance with her mother.
And I just said to her, and I don't dance I don't do that type of dancing. And I said, would you like to dance?
You were so sweet. Yeah, I videoed it. I've got it.
I was nudged, Kelly. I was nudged.
You were nudged. It was great. It was a good nudge. Oh my gosh, everybody.
Wow. Well, thanks, Kelly. This is great. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, James. And thank you so much for your generous offer. I'm so excited that you're going to do that. Oh, my gosh. Well, thanks, everybody.
Take me now, because in a year from now,
I
won't be around. I'll be doing a lot of other things. So
okay, I'm getting you now then. Good. All right, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, everyone.